It takes a village, because for all means for all. Together we'll break down any wall. Linked in love, we won't disarm. We're uniting the grassroots army strong. So press play, feel the spark. This is where the movement starts. It takes a village and we're the proof. Truth in action, raising the roof. It takes a village. It takes a village. We rise together, louder than fear. One voice, one fire, crystal clear. From every banner, every street, unity moves on dancing feet. We rise, together we're strong. A million hearts singing
So
one song.
I know. Let's not have any little ones on the live, please. We're gonna turn off the music. That song was called "The Wisp Sings" by Winter Aid. It's funny. That's the second time that I've introduced that song on this show. So super cool. Let me get to my other. Nope. That's not. No, not what I want to do here. If you guys have a question in the chat for our guest, please type it in the chat. We will be saving them so that we can ask them at the end.
If you're wondering, it is red potato, mashed potatoes. If anybody's wondering, if that's going to be a question.
Mashed potatoes.
So I do butter, Italian seasoning, and milk and garlic, and I blend it all together.
Yum.
Mashed potatoes.
My husband tries to get fancy with the mashed potatoes, and I'm like, why? Just keep it simple. It's so good. Yeah. So, okay, mashed potatoes. We're going to go ahead and get started, guys, and we're going to change things up a little bit tonight. So I hope you guys are down for that little change and adventure here. Hey, Village, welcome in. You are right where you are supposed to be. This is It Takes a Village, where we don't just talk politics, we build power. We ask better questions, and sometimes we flip a few tables. Metaphorically, mostly. I am your charming and furious host, Political Jess, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm deeply uninterested in business as usual. Before we jump in, I want to share a small but important shift that we're starting to make going forward, and we want to be really clear about why. In the past, we've opened up our panel right away to audience questions, and that energy comes from a good place, and people care, and they're fired up, but so often it pulls us in a ton of different directions, and it didn't always serve the deeper conversations that this space was meant for. So going forward, we're doing things with more intention. For the first part of the show, it'll be a guided conversation. I'll be asking questions that help us really understand who our candidate is and what they stand for and how change actually gets made. And then after that conversation, we will be opening it up to all of you. If you have a question for our guest, drop it in the chat. And as we go, we will be collecting them. Once we wrap up our main slate, the candidate will have a space to respond directly. Your voices absolutely still matter here. We're just giving them a little more structure that makes a little more sense and lets this show shine for what it is. So if you're hanging out with us, please tap the screen, share the live, invite a friend. Every tap helps, and this gets this conversation to somebody who needs it. So before we do all of that, though, I want to get something off of our chest real quick, something that we need to talk about right away. Before we get to our main event, we have a little opener for us. Okay, we're going to shift gears for a moment, but we are not slowing down. One thing we believe here is that hope isn't passive. It's something that we practice. It's something that we is present in the choices that we make and the actions we take. This section is Activist Alley with the K-Law, and it's where we take everything we have talked about or will talk about tonight and turn it into something we can carry forward. So our incredible moderator and executive producer, the K-Law, is going to be taking the mic to share a reflection paired with action, something grounding, something doable, something that reminds us that we are not powerless. So, Village, lean in, and Kim, the floor is yours.
Where's my introduction applause?
Rude. Ah. There you go. Now I'm on it. I'm awake
Thanks,
now.
guys. Thank you. Well, Jen is not a. Thank you. Jen is usually up here doing it. Journeys with Jen. Make sure you follow her. Amazing. She's on our team now, and she's waiting for her corner office after I get mine. We she brings information about how we're going to stay informed as we vote, make sure that they're not going to take our voice from us. And we actually found this app, and it is called Vote 411. Have you seen this app, Chelsea? Oh, she's yelling at children.
I try to keep it quiet on this end, but yes, I know what 411.
Oh, cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, you can keep yelling at your children. It's okay. So I've been looking at this app, and it is great. Like you type in your address and it gives you everything that is going to affect how you vote, where you vote. It gives you your information if you're registered, and every election that is going on in your state, from the big ones down to the littlest ones. So it is going to be very, very important that you guys vote for even the local elections, even if there's only like a couple of people that vote on it, it still can make a big difference. And for personal experience, we have a lot of internal politics that go on. We have a group of people here in my state that are trying to control our government, and they're called the Free Staters. So I call them hillbilly MAGAs. So I'll probably get my house burned down for that, but I'll stand. I own it. So I mean, and they try to control even down to our very, very local, like people don't even think it's matters the position that they're voting for. So everyone needs to be aware of what's going on in your state. Like all those little votes count, even though you don't think, oh, that position's just not going to matter. It all matters because that's how they get the foot in the door. So be aware. It's an amazing app. It has a lot of information on there for you if you're not sure about something, or if you need more information about the process. It will give you all of that, and it will break down your voting card too and give you information on the candidates that are on the voting card. So make sure that you go and use this app, write it down with your little pen, and come back and we'll talk about it on Friday's show. And I want to know if you guys, what you thought about it, because any input is great. And we want to make sure that we're bringing information that is helping our village. But other than that, do you have any questions, Jess, about it?
No, I'm excited to dive in and find out more about it.
It is great. It is. I wish I was able to do a live, showing of how it all works and stuff, but we're not fancy like that. We don't have time, and this is the hour for Chelsea. But anyway,
We're
so vote411.org.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's good. You're welcome. I know Jen will be back with us, and you can have the professional, and I'll be the troll behind the screens. But thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Kim. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for that. Now for our main event. Ladies and gents and everyone in between joining us tonight to flip tables in the most inspirational way, all the way from the great state, or not so great state lately, of Texas. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Running for Congress in Texas's 5th congressional district, fighting for working people and refusing to play small. Ladies and gents and everyone in between, it's Chelsea Hockett. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and let's shake things up, shall we? Yeah, so first of all, you have a fellow congressional candidate, Dr. Kenneth Morgan Aguilar, in the comments right now.
I believe Texas 12, running in my mother's district.
my district. So I am like, yes, huge fan. I actually got to vote for him. I'm so excited. So
My mom's in Hazlitt, so she's not too far.
I'm in Hazlitt too. So that is, that's awesome. So when you come to see us, you can pick up a puppy. When you come to visit your mom.
I don't want a puppy, but thank you.
I know. I'm not going to stop trying. It's fine. Okay, so there are 2 questions that I ask every candidate when they get onto my show here, onto our show. We need to talk about the moment that changed everything, okay? We've heard of the phrase, the straw that breaks the camel's back. But we are not being hit with straws. We are being hit with the whole damn camel. The whole camel in the face repeatedly. It's very uncomfortable. What was the camel that finally broke your back, that pushed you to run? And can you give us the skinny on the folks in District 5 and who you'll be representing?
So this part always makes me cry because it's a very emotional thing for me. I have suffered from endometriosis since I was a teenager, and I also had recurrent miscarriages and 2 high-risk pregnancies, and I was in the middle of my second high-risk pregnancy when Roe v. Wade was overturned. So that was rough, especially because they were trying to ban the medications that they use for inductions and all of that. So it's really scary not knowing that you can get medical treatment in Texas, of all places. So that for me was it. And it took me until I came out of my postpartum haze to really be able to start fighting. But that was right around the time that Trump got reelected. So I just, as soon as I was able to just put two words together again, I was out.
Holy crap. That's like, I mean, that is, there's not often, like usually when people answer, they're like, well, it was because, healthcare is a big deal, or, it's because I've been seeing all this stuff with Trump and it just really angered me and, motivated me. This is the first time I've been like flabbergasted. My gasts are flabbered.
So it's a lot of that. And then my husband's a union member, and there's a lot of union busting, and he attacked unions frequently, previously, and healthcare, mail, all of the things that affect our daily lives. But that was kind of it for me, where I was like, all right, we're done. Roe got overturned, and there was no way I wasn't fighting.
Yeah, Alicia is telling her story too, and yeah, I know a lot of people who have had, I don't actually have it. Might be TMI for all y'all, but I don't actually have a uterus anymore because I have endometriosis and PCOS. And it was the most freeing thing ever. I'm like, I'm not using this thing anymore. I don't have to worry about bleeding anymore. It was fantastic. It was great.
Mine is, I have my endometriosis all the way up to my diaphragm. So even if I get rid of it, again, TMI, I'll go with you. My uterus is actually attached to my colon because of scar tissue. Which is what made the pregnancies partially high risk, along with my blood pressure. I have migraine tendencies, and so the blood pressure was always rising, and then I had swelling up to my thighs, and it was awful. I had the floaties in my eyes, and so I had an emergency C-section with my first. Oh, here's another one for you. In 2020 is when my daughter was born. 2 weeks before she was born, everything shut down.
Oh, no.
I was a general manager at Panera. I worked food for a long time because my husband had to, we had to move jobs frequently, and food's easy to transfer in. And I did management for it, so it was great. But when COVID shut down, I lost my health insurance 2 weeks before I had a baby. And thankfully, my husband's company is fantastic, but I'm very Medicare for all because I lost my health insurance and had a $100,000 hospital bill shortly after. So having that tied, I've had a lot of trauma around pregnancy.
Yeah. And the thing that really chaps my ass, for lack of a better term, is that I moved here from California. And in moving here from California, I have less rights now than I had 2 years ago. It's insane. Yeah. So how come women in Texas have less rights than women in California? It makes no sense to me. So Yeah, but we'll get to there's hope there. There's hope there.
Yeah.
Um, can you tell me about your district? Tell me about what's in District 5.
So District 5 is East Dallas. It's about 16% of Dallas. So it's Rowlett, Garland, and Mesquite. And then it goes into Kaufman County, which if you don't know Kaufman County, it's right on the edge of Mesquite, Sunnyvale, Forney, Terrell, down 20 towards Louisiana. And then Van Zandt County, which is just before Tyler, and then down south, Henderson and Anderson County. So it's a pretty rural makeup. It's great though. Like it is a really good section of Texas. We're 30 minutes from downtown Dallas, but the good direction so we don't get stuck in traffic. I'm next to the Fair Park. And then it's so beautiful out here. We get all the eastern pines, and I've got a cat trying to steal food that the toddler did not eat. Okay, sorry. He like jumped up on the table, grabbed a piece of meat, and ran.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, they're not subtle. Mm-mm.
No, they're not. But that's about what it is. And so what's really fun is we have a lot of old people in our like rural parties.
Yeah.
And they are the most progressive people that I think I've ever met. So it's been so fun because a lot of them were either fighting themselves and protesting against like the wars and for women's liberation, and they were doing all of that, or they were doing it with their parents. Like one of our county chairs, he marched with his parents with Martin Luther King Jr. So it's pretty cool just to know people out here. Yeah. And my family has a civil rights history in Alabama as well. So stuff like that is always really exciting for me to see.
Yeah, that is such a cool story. So Wiley is not part of your district.
No, Wiley is part of 32, I believe. So Dan Barrios and Anthony Bridges.
Got it. I got it. Yeah, it'd be awesome if when they redistricted, they could just wrapped Wiley in there too. Just saying. So
Wiley's pretty cool.
There's some pretty freaking awesome people that live in Wiley. I will say that. So before you were the candidate, you were just a person watching all of this unfold. What were you seeing or experiencing that made waiting your turn feel impossible?
Well, I did share a good bit about what was happening baby-wise, but childcare was $2,300 a month, which is more than my pay. Well, it was about $400 less than my paycheck, so I could pay for my car payment and childcare. And we were going further into debt with childcare while I was working from home with both kids at home eventually because childcare got so expensive. And then they tried to charge us $500 a month for public pre-K. So our public school district pre-K was $500 a month. And the groceries were getting more expensive. Insurance was getting more expensive. It was harder to make ends meet with both of us working. So it was one of those things where I ended up quitting my job. I worked for an airline. I was in the travel department, and it sounds really simple because I was just booking hotel rooms and like plane tickets, but I was required to work with FAA regulations, military regulations, and with union compliance. And our department of 8 was extremely high producing with 38,000 tickets booked a year. And if you can imagine booking 38,000 plane tickets in a year. And I was my senior in my department. So I had a really high stress job, and it didn't pay well. It was in Ohio, and it was like $21 an hour for that amount of stress. And it was impossible. And I was really pissed off. So I came out of it like Roe v. Wade being overturned, postpartum haze, no good medical care, mental health care, and work was impossible. And childcare was impossible. And I was just done. I was done waiting.
That's my daughter's school calling me, which is weird because it's 6:00 and that's a weird time to call somebody.
Yeah.
Just saying. So I think that would be motivating for me too. It feels like, especially in Texas, it feels like suffocating almost.
I feel anti-mom frequently.
It does. It does. But they say that they are pro family and they're pro,
They're pro forced birth.
Yes.
That's it. Anything past that? I mean, they're taking, so a big thing for me is tax theft, right? Like the school vouchers.
Oh my God.
Which has been super scary. But that's just a continuation of what we saw during Jim Crow era, right? Like we were taking taxes from the Black communities that we redlined into these poor areas and had no amenities for, just kept taking it, putting it towards other schools. And that's literally the exact same thing that they're doing now. It's the same process. It's just to rob minority communities and urban communities from that money that they have, and it's going to affect the rural areas a lot. But like we're literally experiencing tax theft at like a massive scale right now, from local government all the way up to federal government.
All the way up to federal, yeah. It's insane. Like we're not being nobody's looking out for us.
No,
is what I'm saying, and nobody's coming to save us either. We have to do it ourselves, and that's why we're here. So what do you think people watching tonight might recognize in your story, that moment where frustration turns into responsibility?
I think it's just having to live life where it's just getting harder every single day. And I know that sounds so simple and so generalized, but we really are just struggling daily, right, to keep up with the cost of electricity in Texas. We're worried about our water with the data centers and the aquifers being drained. We're worried about if we're going to have groceries that are going to be fresh and how expensive they're going to be if we have them. Because, I mean, out here we have food deserts. We have 2 grocery stores in Terrell, and we have a good bit more in Forney. But when you don't have any public transportation and you're struggling, like you have 2 options, and it's Brookshire's, which is extremely expensive, or Walmart, which is low quality. Like we're dealing with car insurance and house insurance going up. Our property taxes are insane right now. What we're struggling with in our community is they're building these $400,000, $500,000 homes next to fixed income homes and raising the property taxes so much so that they're bankrupting our oldest and most unstable houses. I mean, it's just us getting through every single day, and then we're now adding on the stressors of ICE coming into our communities in Terrell and Forney, and absolutely terrorizing our families. And so it just keeps
piling on.
It just keeps piling on. But it's like every day is more of a struggle, and that's where I'm just kind of done with that struggle. And I want to make it better for the people that I'm around.
I think there's a lot of people who are just done with that struggle. I think and we're seeing it right now, right? We're going to get to a point where we're talking about Texas politics specifically, because that's like such a juicy topic. It's like so, I'm excited. I'm excited.
That's the governor that I just want to roll into the middle of a lake.
I call him Roldermort.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not my favorite. Yeah. He's not my favorite. And like I have family who they clutch their pearls every time I make fun of him, but he's a disabled man. And I'm like, no, he's a ladder pulling motherfucker. Okay. So yeah, no, we're not doing that.
I don't know if you know Keenan Colbert yet, but he's running for Texas Senate District 2 against Bob Hall. And I told him, I just texted him randomly. I was like, can you just make it to where the very first bill passed is removing any wheelchair ramps from the governor's mansion? Like, make it inconvenient. No DEIA for this man.
No DEI. None at all. Well, with any luck, he won't be in that seat for much longer. So, yes, we will manifest that shit around here for sure. Okay, so let's talk about your values, your platform, and your lived reality. Okay, what core values guide every decision that you make, and how do those values show up in your platform in ways that people can actually feel in their day-to-day lives?
So I operate based off of like an overwhelming sense of love. I always have, and that sounds so cheesy, but everybody for me is a friend until you prove yourself otherwise. I don't even have to know you. If you look like you need love, I'm gonna pour it on you. Whether it's somebody that can't afford food, or somebody that just needs a hug, or somebody that's upset and crying. So I've always been very in tune with the people that are around me. And I want to help my community so severely out of love. That is the biggest part of my platform. Like I'm very bubbly and smiley, as you can see, and I do tend to like radiate that joy. And so that's just what I want to push, is operating out of love and making sure that our neighbors are taken care of, that they can fix their houses, that everybody can eat, and that's where I'm at.
I love that. I have that same sort of bubbly persona that people sort of gravitate to, and they're like, why are you always so positive? And I'm like, well, the alternative sucks. That's why.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying.
I just gotta have some joy in my life, right? Like I try to wake up every day. Like I'll wake up cranky, but it comes back around eventually.
But seriously, that's the best form of resistance. Joy is the best form of resistance, you guys. So definitely keep that in mind.
I mean, anger definitely has its place, especially right now. Like the anger drives us, but it doesn't mean we can't lead with a little smile on our face, even though we're like burning hot with rage. That is one thing that terrifies people, is because I can get really angry and still just absolutely smile in your face. But the rage is there too. It's just the love for my community is what drives me more than anything.
I think that is awesome. So when you talk to folks in your community, what issues come up again and again that people outside of your district might not fully understand?
I mean, I feel like we're all pretty much on the same page right now. I think they've screwed everybody to the same point of not being able to afford groceries, not being able to afford our property taxes, not being able to afford energy costs, not being able to or worrying about where our water's coming from next, which is a huge one in Texas. So there's not much that's different between areas right now. I know some places are hit harder with federal like policies, and I know some places are hit harder with state policies, but they have driven us all to almost the same point, which sounds crazy. You know, like talking to city of Dallas versus the rural areas, it's the same concerns, which I don't think has ever been a thing before.
Right. I hear a puppy crying, so I'm going to ask you this question, and then I'm going to go check on the puppy, and then I'll be right back, okay? But while you're answering,
I'm find my kids anyways.
Okay. So let me ask you this question, and then I'm going to go and check on the puppies. Okay. Kim, can you, while we're taking this really short intermission, give us the 411 on 411 again, for the folks that just joined? And the question that you need to think about is what's one part of your platform that you think deserves more attention than it gets, and why? And I'll be right back to hear your answer. Okay? Okay. Be right back, guys. Behave yourselves.
Oh my gosh, I'm like sweating, being put on the spot again.
That's how I feel.
Chelsea, so tell me what you know about it. What about the 411 app?
I feel like it's really similar to the Blue Voter Guide, where they give you the candidates and everything that you have in your area and kind of a rundown of them. Or is it just?
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, Blue Voter Guide's really cool. It's like you go and you put in your address, and it gives you every candidate down ballot who has endorsed them, and then some policy points that it picked up from like your websites and posts and stuff like that. People do research. It's pretty cool.
You'll have to let me know which one you like better.
I've been on Blue Voter Guide a lot. It's bluevoterguide.org. But I do like Vote 411 as well. It's a fun one to kind of push through. But
perfect. That's good. We'll deep dive into that one and present it to the village on another show. Thank you for that information.
No worries.
Thank you.
Are you okay there, Jess?
Yeah, the puppies have figured out. So we got a new enclosure that's like super tall because they were escaping. And
now they're mad.
Though they just figured out how to escape again. They're going to unionize, and I'm going to be screwed. So we need to find homes for them. I would love to let them roam, Scotty, but they chew on everything, and there's 9 of them. So it's like one puppy you can chase around and kind of like, maybe 2 you can kind of corral and keep them from chewing on the cords from all your very expensive electronics. With 9, there is no hope. So, yeah, they're big. Big puppies. They're not going to be little guys. So, okay. So just to repeat our question, thank you, Kim, for scooping in and filling that gap there for us. So sorry about the pandemonium over here. It is a zoo, literally.
I came upstairs, so there's going to be pandemonium here any second, I'm sure.
Sweet. I love this for us. We're just chaos goblins in the best possible
Chaos
way.
goblins.
It's great. It's fine. It's great. So what's one part of your platform that you think deserves more attention than it gets, and why?
Well, one, I'm just not great with social media policy, posting constantly. They're not happy that they're getting that
They're
right
so mad.
um, I don't know. I mean, the platform as a whole, I just wish that we could get more traction on, or not even necessarily the platform, but the race itself. But we have been discounted, because we've been a really red district, and everybody thinks that with the redistricting that, they're just more red and they're not winnable. But I'm pretty sure you know by now that they screwed themselves doing that pretty bad. And so I feel like after the primaries, we'll get a good bit of attention because my county that I live in has shifted 29 points left.
Whoops.
Even Dallas County has shifted a good bit. Our entire district as a whole has shifted 21 points to the left
Whoops.
with primaries and who's voting. So it's just that we've been discounted, so we will see what happens after primaries happen.
And do you have a primary opponent?
I have two.
You have two primary opponents. Do you feel like that you're performing better than them, or is it kind of like a crapshoot? Is it going to be a surprise either way?
One of them, he is fantastic. He is a retired NASA scientist. He was a rocket scientist, and he is the sweetest person in the entire world. But he lacks the charisma and the movement and like the excitement, and he's very moderate on stuff. So he doesn't get a ton of traction on that front. And I love him to death, but he's also he's definitely older. So he kind of falls down when he stands up. He trips downstairs. He's got stuff it's just one of those we love him, but he's older. And the other one, I'm going to refrain from commenting on because it's probably not going to be the nicest. Somebody who likes to lead with love. But it's a mess. And I have been threatened and exposed by said person who is lying to me about across the entire district, because I am doing a little better on that front.
Wow.
A lot of the district has been very unhappy with her performances in the past and her actions and her words. And so they're not very happy that she's running again.
Wow.
Not getting the support. So
Well,
that's the nicest way that I can say everything that I would like to say.
well, I mean, if I was in your district, I would be voting for you. So I'm
thank you.
I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be fantastic. So, okay, cool. So how has your lived experience shaped the policies that you're fighting for, and where have you had to listen and learn from others to get it right?
So, okay, Medicare for All, I already touched on. I'm very big for that. I have a very progressive stances. It aligns pretty close. I got an A with the DSA, if that helps kind of orient where I'm at. So immigration policy for me, I grew up with immigration policies affecting my family and my friends because I've got cousins that are Chinese. My stepmom is Filipino, and she had a mom that was undocumented for a lot of her life. So I heard about that growing up. And then I have just other family and friends for my entire life. They've all been immigrants. We know how Texas is. I used to live in Flower Mound. That is a heavy Asian population coming in, and I had friends literally from every country in Asia, it felt like. And we had a lot of friends from from different European countries and all of that. So I was always really heavily involved, and I asked so many questions all the time to the point that it was intrusive because I was so intrigued by the immigration process. But even then, and then I went to TWU, which is a lot of the Central American and South American countries were coming up. And that's where a lot of people went to school from there. I had friends from Colombia, Venezuela, definitely Mexico. And then we didn't have a ton of differentiation.
Mm-hmm.
Like just, it was a lot of like Mexico, Venezuela. There's one, Guatemala. There we go. I was like, I know there's another there's another country in there. But we all talked about like how it is for everybody coming over, what it's like to get or to go through the immigration process. And like I already knew at a young age, it's a very broken process.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot to get to the point where you have green card legal status, and legal status means so many different things. Thank you. I don't need that. If you want it to be yours. Okay. But I still have to learn, right? Like I don't know what the court experiences are like, and that's something that I do sit down and I listen to frequently, especially with Garland, Rowlett, and Mesquite being heavily like Latin populations. I don't know what it's like to get arrested and go through the system. I don't know what it's like to get harassed. I have been followed by ICE because I keep a Mexican flag on my car just to waste time when I can. And they
love
have
that.
literally, they followed me to a park in my neighborhood, which is a predominantly Black neighborhood, by the way. They're just patrolling the Black neighborhoods with very little like Latin presence. We have segregated communities in Terrell. But they followed me back into that neighborhood, and they sat and watched me the entire time I was there. And then they followed me halfway home. So like, and it's not as unnerving for me because I know that they're going to take one look at me, look at my license, and they're going to be like, oh, whatever. And I can't speak Spanish to save my life. I can understand a good bit of it, but I can't speak Spanish to save my life. And so that is one place that I've really had to sit down, listen, and learn fully. And I try to take it in, and I try to help wherever I can. I've pulled El Movimiento in to help out to do a Know Your Rights course at my church, which is a mostly Spanish-speaking church, and then I've also pulled them into like Kaufman County just to let people know like what's happening, and they're going to do a further training for legal observer stuff. But that is one place that I try to like heavily put a lot of my attention into because it's not something that I am used to seeing on like an enforcement level.
And it impacts so many Texans. It impacts so many people here.
Yes. It impacts us, and it impacts all of us in every single way. I may not have anybody like disappearing from my household, but I have neighbors. We have workers. We have people disappearing off of the streets. We have cars being left in places. Like it impacts everybody on every level of life, and people just don't realize it.
Yeah.
And then I've had to learn a lot about water, which sounds insane.
You live in Texas. That's what you got to do.
Well, yeah, and you learn more and more and more about it. Just like the fact that we don't even have a water treatment center anywhere near us. We have nothing. We have nothing in, like, I know North Texas, a lot of it, but like all of our water out in Terrell is horrible. Like we have to filter everything, and it's just, I don't know. And then we've had people draining aquifers. I've learned a lot about the shady dealings that have been happening for decades in our area, and
Yeah.
so all of it's learning because there's stuff that affects me, and it affects us on a personal level, but there's so much that we just don't experience.
Yeah. She is
Sorry, that was
again.
a very long 3 times.
3 times. Did you give them some food, honey?
No, because I was too busy catching beans.
Okay, let Bean roam for a minute. Get the rest of the dogs some food, and then once they have some food, then put her back in the enclosure. Daddy will be home in just a minute, okay? Welcome to my zoo. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for being here. This has been fun. And it's hilarious because when one of them gets out, they tattle. And it's not like they sound like a flock of seagulls.
They scream.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck, Mom?
I was like, we all want to get out too.
Yeah, how come I can't get out? It's funny. It's really funny. So here's my second question that I always ask everybody. Many people feel betrayed by candidates who make these big, bold, progressive promises, and then they cave once they're in office, right?
Yeah.
Fetterman.
I
Sorry,
don't think
that's
he
weird.
caved. I think he was a plant.
You think so? I just
I think
so weird what's going on with that guy. So how do you ensure that you stay in tune to the message that you've built and do what politicians don't and actually keep your word, while staying rooted in the grassroots movements that brought you here?
I hold a lot of the values of the progressive like very deeply to me and my core. I also don't like folding and disappointing people either. I'm a very big people pleaser, so for me, like that is one driver that will drive me like I will go insane if I don't follow through with this. But for me, they're so deeply attached to me in my household. Whether it's having the right to organize, whether it's raising minimum wage, whether because what our standard cost of living in Texas right now is $23.77 an hour. So having that $25 an hour is more than I was making, and I was struggling. There, yes, you want to say hi?
Hi, baby.
You said hello. Oh, you disappeared. Okay. So I have very good reasons to be on the sides that I'm on. It's not just to get elected. It's not anything other than that. I know that it would drastically improve my life as well as the people that are around me, and that's going to drive me to continue doing what I'm doing without folding. We've seen with the ACA credits, we've seen with thank you, the budget bills and how those are affecting everything, and what folding did. It hurt a lot of people. It made everything feel unnecessary. Because I mean, we all struggled through it. People lost SNAP, people lost food, and they did that all for people to fold and not get anything back from it. Like we've seen it play out, and it's horrendous. I did a food drive during that time as well, and we got stuff to the local, the Terrell Share Center and the Forney Food Bank for we have it to where our Forney ISD helps host it, and they make sure that it goes to the kids' families and stuff. But it was really bad. People lost health insurance, people lost food, people lost all of the care that they have. For us to literally watch the congressional representatives do nothing and get nothing from it because they folded.
The capitulation is just absolutely insane right now. Just on another level.
Yeah, but having felt that hurt personally from Congress doing that, like I will not fold.
Yeah. And I think that we need people in Congress who have an actual backbone and will fight. I feel like especially right now, and I guess this is a good time to ask this. Right now, we just don't have the people in Congress on the Democratic side who are ready to meet this moment.
Right.
Would you support Hakeem Jeffries as speaker?
No.
Do you have somebody that you're like rooting for?
Typically, it would be AOC, but she's made a lot of really weird decisions lately, and I feel like she's setting herself up for leadership. But the way that she's doing it, I'm not a big fan of. I don't know if you saw with Julie Johnson. She basically got caught stock trading Palantir, but she's the representative for Dallas, right? So she purchased a lot in 2024, and she sold all of her stocks between the end of January and the end of December and mid-January, and then made a video about how it was unethical to be trading stocks in Congress, which is why she divested everything. And AOC endorsed her.
Huh.
And so there's a couple of things that are happening that, I'm seeing in, Texas 33, or I'm seeing just on a smaller scale that's happening with the congressional runs that makes me uneasy about anybody that's currently in like the congressional arena.
Yeah. William's got a good point. They're just not meeting this moment. It's so disheartening. And it really like makes us feel like we're by ourselves, and we're clearly going crazy, right? Like we're clearly going crazy. They're not on fire with rage, and they should be like the rest of us.
So this one, it's a little on topic, a little off topic. My resume is not stacked. I worked in food, and I moved with my family. I worked stuff with federal and union and all of those regulations, but I don't have a law degree. I have a business degree. But I feel like we lost a lot by expecting these massive resumes to come into congressional offices. And we started we hired our elected officials that had no basis in reality because they had these stacked resumes and didn't know what the normal person went through. So that is why, I'm just like, I'm going to run. I meet the 3 basic qualifications of a House district, but I feel like I can bring it back. Like we're better off than a lot of their families that are around us. I'm not going to lie and act like we're not, but it's because of unions that we're able to get that union membership. Because before, the past 2 or 3 years, we didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at. And that's also why I like to push the way that I do is I do not have a stacked resume. I'm not expecting people to think that I'm some big shot lawyer. I'm not anything past that. I am a mom. I organize locally. I'm involved in all of the county parties. I very much like deciphering stuff on congress.org. I like following the legislation. I don't mind watching C-SPAN. Like I'm a news junkie, but it's because I'm rooted to the people. And I feel like that's going to make a difference.
But we need that. We need that, though. That's what we need. Like, we got into this situation that we're in right now because we have all of these stuffed suits in Congress right now. Like, that's all that they're good for. They have impressive resumes, but they have no idea how much a gallon of milk costs. We need people, regular people like William, people like Dr. Ken, people like you.
I don't want family men because they don't understand how to run a household.
Yeah.
I want moms. I want moms that do the grocery planning. I want moms that make the doctor's appointments. I want moms that look at the bills. I want moms that do all of this stuff, that see it and that run the households to help regulate the households.
Yes, definitely. So when pressure comes from party leadership, money, or just the way things have always been done, what is your compass?
I was a training manager for a long time, and I was very rooted into the way that things are supposed to be done and what was ethical and what was moral. And that has always been very strong in my soul. And I have ADHD and a strong sense of justice. So that is my moral compass. I am a Christian. I go to church. I do all of the things, but my belief in morality is that if you need a book to tell you how to live your life and how to act correctly, then you're probably not a good person. And I think it's supplemental to the way you should be living your life. And that is where I've always stood on morality and ethics. I don't know if that's a good way to describe it. What's up, bud? Do you want to turn the light on? Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you need help? Okay. The 3-year-old.
No worries. Tap up that screen, guys. Share out the live if you can. Let's get as many people in this room as possible to look at this amazing candidate who's juggling all the things at the same
All the
time.
things.
All the
Hey,
things.
bud, what's up? Do you want me to sit down? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're sitting down in here. Yeah. Yeah, that looks really good. I don't want to read a book. Can Sissy read you a book?
No.
I'm talking right now. Can you watch with Sissy? Just for a little bit longer? Do you want to read it to me? Yeah? Okay, you can read it to me.
So what does accountability look like to your community when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable?
I mean, I feel like the accountability is being held accountable to the people. Right now, I'm in a district where the congressman doesn't show up to anything other than pre-planned Republican meetings.
Yeah.
And you have Craig Goldman, right? If you're in Hazlitt.
Oh, yes. He's my favorite.
Well, I don't know if you know who Lance Gooden is, but he's also horrifying, horrifyingly awful.
Yes.
But he does not show up for anything. I actually organized a protest and confronted him at a Republican women's meeting, and he blasted me all over the internet because I had a baby on my hip while I refused to shake his hand and embarrassed him.
I love that.
But that accountability for me is just being accountable to the people that are in the community. So that's showing up, whether it's a live where they can ask me questions directly, whether it's a Zoom call, we can have full conversations while I'm not currently in the state, if we're, elsewhere, something's upsetting, or coming down and holding actual town halls so people can talk. That is what the accountability looks like for me right now, because that's what I am missing in a representative, and that's what I want to see.
Yeah, Craig Goldman has started to tell people that his town halls are the paid per plate like fundraising events that he's doing.
Fundraiser.
I'm like, no, that's not a town hall, sweetie. You're not accessible to your people. Like, what the?
Yes.
So
I got
yeah.
a book. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, buddy.
What's up, bud?
Hi,
What's up?
bud.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, can we get down? I'm gonna go play with Sissy. It's on a live. Hi. Okay. It's on a live. Okay. What's up? Are you good? Good. Okay. You can do that. You don't need me for that. His favorite toy is a dog leash.
They grow so fast. I'm just telling
They
you
do.
right now, you're gonna blink and they're gonna be 18 graduating. It's gonna be terrible.
My 5-year-old, she's about to turn 6, and I'm like, stop it. And she's like, I can't. And I'm like, yes, you can.
Yes, you can. I keep telling my kids to stop growing. They don't listen to me. So let's talk about power beyond the candidate. When we say it all the time here, real change doesn't come from one person with a title. What does shared power actually look like to you in your campaign?
So shared power for me is just, one, you have the campaign team, hey, that's running and trying to help everybody make good moral decisions, right? So I tell, okay, well, I do not plan on taking any corporate PAC money. If we have political PAC money with organizations that come in, the people that work with me, we're going to kind of like vote, like, okay, yes or no, do we take it from this person? And that is one of the shared powers that we're going to campaign together. We're going to campaign as the people. And then we are going to bring it back and make sure that we're listening, and we're going to reach out to our community. Yeah, I can turn on the TV. Reach out to the community to make sure that the decisions that we're making are not harming the community, and we're going to give them a voice to speak, and we're going to listen to that voice. We're not going to ignore them because Donald Trump wants to do something different. We're going to listen to the power of the people. I need to put on Paw Patrol, I think. What do you want to watch?
I love Paw Patrol.
Chase? Okay.
Paw Patrol.
We want to watch
Yes.
Chase. Paw Patrol's great.
Paw Patrol's great. Does he like Bluey?
Do you like Bluey? No. Chase? Do you like Blippi? He does like Bluey. He just wants Chase right now. He's like, no, don't put on Chase.
Bluey.
No, I want Bluey. I want Chase. We even have the Chase yogurts, so he demands different characters in the morning. He eats a yogurt every day for it.
That is amazing. I love that. So cool. So who do you think gets left out of the political conversations the most often? And how does your platform intentionally bring them in?
I feel like everybody's getting left out right now. Because I'm sitting here and I'm going back and forth, and I'm like, well, who? And I was like, well, they're not being listened to. They're not being listened to. We have communities that. What? Are you hungry? Do you want some cheese? It's always cheese. You can't have the bread. Oh, you want a yogurt? Okay, he wants a yogurt. We talked about yogurt. Sorry.
Oh, see, you said the word, and now he's like, I must have that. I must have that.
Oh, you want a monkey? You don't want Rebel. Okay. All right, you're in my fridge now with me. Oh, you do want Rebel. Okay. He's so cute.
He sounds very cute.
I have like 2 little blonde hair, blue-eyed little kids, and they look just like me when I was little. Okay. But I think everybody's kind of being left out right now, right? Like, we are making decisions to enrich the people that are in the administration and billionaires. We're not doing anything for the people that are here. We don't have any working people. We don't have any representation for working people. We don't have any representation for communities of color, especially with the DEIA and woke curriculum being stripped from schools. We don't have kids being taken care of. We don't have anybody that's over the age of 65 getting Social Security that actually makes sure that they can live functionally. Like, I think everybody's being left out of the conversation right now. And we also don't have multilingual materials readily available for people that don't necessarily speak English to participate in the system either. So their needs are being left out. So, all of us.
All of us.
All of us.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. Yeah, I'm feeling it too. I think about that question often, and I think, well, there's the LGBTQ community, there's the disabled community, there's the marginalized community, there's the immigrant community, there's veterans. Oh gosh, the veterans, and then the children, and oh my gosh, and there's just a great big.
I think the only people that are currently being catered to are the top, 5%?
Yeah, men. Yeah, love that for us. So, okay, so what has this campaign taught you about the power of everyday people?
One voice makes such a massive difference. Before I started pushing as hard as I did, I was watching our local elections, and our local elections were being won by all of 8 votes. So that one voice already is, your roads. That one voice is the rent. That one voice is the cost of your municipal resources. If your park gets fixed. I mean, we have one really, really, really good park, and it's because Jamie Foxx donated a bunch of money to our area because he played high school football, and he made sure that his community park was better than the way that he left it. And we have so many things where it's just that one person had made such a huge difference. And so I started pushing. One of my now really good friends slid into my DMs because we were just angrily yelling at people on our congressman's Facebook post. And she was like, are you educated and a constituent, or do you not live here? Because I have my where I'm from, but not where I live. And I was like, no, I'm a constituent, and I'm very up on what's happening. And so we started, the two of us, just wreaking havoc in our district. So we connected with every county party. We pulled them all. We did an empty chair town hall. I think our very first event, a month after we met each other, we had about 100 people just from all over the community come out to throw pies at these politicians' faces and complain and talk and vent. And it got to the point where I started digging up so much stuff on our congressman and being an absolute nuisance that he now has his campaign staff watch my social medias as one of their job duties because I was calling him out for stuff. He pulled some stupid crap when he was in the Texas State House to where he gave eminent domain to a billionaire that is also a hotelier behind the Hutchins people warehouse that they were trying to build. And they pulled just a bunch of random crap with that. And they have been trying to condemn the land within this barrier in Henderson County and take it from multi-generational families. They're polluting rivers because he's allowing it. He tried to privatize the hospital in Terrell that we did have and cost almost 1,000 people their jobs. And he did it with the American National Bank Board that's based in Kaufman County. And also his campaign treasurer is on that board as well. So he got ousted from Kaufman County, being able to work in Kaufman County effectively. But he's done so much shady stuff, and the power of one person pulling that out and bringing the community back together again and working together to I know everybody worked together and they saw each other, but a lot of stuff just felt social. But now we're all right, we're doing protests and we're organizing this. And we were able to draw 200 and almost 50 people out in Forney in a week for a protest.
That's amazing.
So
yeah,
one person can make a big difference. And so this is so off topic, and I know we're going to try to keep it shorter, but my hairdresser, I was talking to her, and she's very conservative leaning, but she has really populist views. So she was like, well, what's on the ballot? So we were talking about the propositions, and she was saying yes to all of the progressive stuff and no to all of the corporate stuff. And I was like, are you sure you're a conservative? And she goes, well, da-da-da. And I was like, I don't think you are. You need to reevaluate. And so the last time that I went to go see her, she was like, a lot of stuff has happened. And I was like, yes, a lot of stuff has happened. And she was like, well, I don't know what my one voice can do. And I was like, so much more than you realize. So she's trying to speak out. My mom, while she's not necessarily speaking out, she's like, tell me who to vote for and I will be there in 5 seconds, even though she was a triple Trumper. And she was like, the only person that I want to vote, be able to vote for on my own is the president. And I was like, okay, well, just remember that you voted for 3 times So we're still going to discuss that too. And she goes, that's fair.
Yeah. Very fair. Very fair.
So
Mom.
Mom. So
Mom.
I mean, like, it's slow stuff, and it's individuals that I talk to, it's people that I see at the coffee shop that you can slowly see them, like, because I don't hide the fact that I'm a radical left lunatic, Antifa, headquarters kind of person. I wear it plainly because in the rural areas, I don't feel like I'm virtue signaling. It's more I piss off conservatives by wearing stuff that says like deport the racist. Yeah. It's super fun, but it also makes people feel a little bit more comfortable too. Because I one of my shirts that I'll wear around here is like, if y'all had just listened to Black women, like that is one of my ones. And it makes people really uncomfortable, but they see that, and then you can see on their faces softening when they see me.
Yes.
They're like, it's getting a little crazy, and I'm like, yeah, it is.
They feel safe. They feel safe.
They feel
That's
safe.
one of the things. We actually have a partnership with a company called Not Your Merch. If you have not heard of Not Your Merch, you should go check them out. They're a minority-owned, Latina-owned business here in Texas. Okay, and they make stuff. This is one of their designs. They make stuff that you can wear on your chest that speaks your voice without having to say a word, and it gives people so much like comfort to know that they're not, especially in Texas, when we progressives and Democrats are supposed to feel like we are isolated. We are supposed to feel like there's nobody out there, and we're in a silo, and the way things are is the way things are always going to be. So it is so important to be able to wear your voice, and I love that you do that.
Well, I could donate that money elsewhere. Like, I really could. I could spend that $20, and I do. I'll donate it to the World Food Bank or directly to somebody that's in Palestine right now. Like, I will donate it to the local areas, and I'll take food to the food bank. I will box up my pantry and I will give it to my neighbors, and I do that too. But wearing clothes in Texas in such a rural area where you are automatically a threat because you're a white woman, for me is like, just I do my best. Like, I know I'm not a safe space, and just because I'm wearing a shirt, I will not be a safe space, but letting you know that you're in the presence of somebody who isn't MAGA and giving people that opportunity. And it also helps you find friends, right? Like, too, like, I like that. But I have had so many people that are like, thank you. Like, I'll go into Walmart and like, thank you for wearing your shirt. Like, thank you for doing this, because it makes people feel a lot less alone, like in the area too, that are experiencing issues. Like, and I have my neighbors, like I have my Mexican flag on the back of my car, and I have 2 Mexican neighbors that I'm like, I love you. If you ever need anything or you need groceries, you need me to go get something for you, I'll go do that. But if you need a place to come hide, I got you too. Like, just come on over. Come on over. So I do try to be that little safe space. And I think it's funny, I was reading the comments. I actually was in Berkshire's last night and I couldn't find something. And he was like, this is what I'm good for. And it's cool. And I was like, the only thing that I do is ask people if they voted yet. So I gave him the voting information for Terrell, and I was like, oh, awesome, I'm on the ballot. I'm like, hey, have you voted? By the way, I was in Chick-fil-A and I got somebody I was like, oh, have you voted yet? And he was like, I like your shirt. And I was like, have you voted? Was my next first thing out of my mouth. So I got him all the information for like the voting, like locations, for the times that they were open. And then I like stuck in my little literature, and I was like, that's me, by the way. If you're going to vote for Jasmine Crockett, can you also vote for Chelsea Hockett?
Yes. I love it.
So yeah,
that is amazing. So yes, that is so cool. And I mean, it's really important. It is really important. Especially in rural Texas.
In rural Texas, it's really important to show your voice. It's scary. Especially like when I was in Gun Barrel City walking yesterday, and the Democrats were like, don't say it too loud. Like, because they're neighbors. Like, they are terrified to be themselves. And it's so important to make somebody else feel just a little bit less alone in an area where we feel surrounded by the enemy.
I have pink hair. I mean, they don't like me around here. Let me just tell you that. They just don't like me very much, and they can see me a mile away. So, yeah. It's pretty entertaining. So let's talk about let's talk about activating the village. A
Okay.
lot of people care deeply about what's happening, but they don't see themselves as political people. So,
Yeah.
what would you say to someone who feels that pull but doesn't know where they fit?
I asked them what would make them feel comfortable, right? Like we'll get into it like, well, do you want to go to a meeting and meet some people that are thinking similarly to you and maybe be able to discuss it with them? Do you like, I have these dinners that I go to with friends and family, or like we have breakfast and we just go and we talk about politics and what's happening and in kind of a calm manner instead of, being bombarded on the news. Or I'm like, hey, have you ever been to a protest, or have you ever done this? I was like, it's pretty fun, and I have dragged a lot of people out of their shell that way. One of my friends, she was like, I've never been to a protest, so I took her to 2 protests. And a couple weeks ago, she was at a bar and somebody was wearing like a MAGA like hat, and she went up to them and was like, what has this administration done for you? And chewed them out. So we've like slowly been able, like, everybody's getting so mad in this area, they're willing to do anything. So it's not even, I was like, if you don't want to be political at this point, it's a choice that is not a good one.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much I'm going to convince you to get out of the shell, but the people that have been nervous and scared have already started coming out. Like there were people that were at a protest, an amazing couple. They were really politically active where they lived previously. We had the protest in October in Forney, and now they're block walking with us in like a subgroup, and they go to all of the meetings and they get really involved. And I was one of the first faces that they saw in Forney that was like I was dressed like Miss Rachel. I had a keffiyeh on. It was my whole thing. It was like right when I had launched my campaign. And so they met me, like I was one of the first ones, and I was like, oh, you should come to the meeting. We have this justice tour happening. You can meet all the judges. And I got to speak, and they've been super involved since then. So it's like the people that are slowly venturing out. We try to introduce, we have so many events in rural areas where it's just like, hey, why don't you go to that one? Or they're like, well, I just don't know where to start. And I'm like, well, you can go to a Democratic Party like meeting in the county, and you can listen to people that are running for office speak. You don't have to talk to anybody else, but you can go see like who's going to be on the ballot and what their views are. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, that's how you can meet your officials. And they're like, oh, I'm not used to that. And I'm like, yeah, so you can just like go to these meetings where they come up and they talk to everybody, And so there are a lot of ways out here, but people are already, they ask at this point, like they're asking. But I do, I'll hand them a card for like our Kaufman County Dems meeting or whatever else it is that I'm in Kaufman County. So that's typically, which, me walking around talking to people is typically in Kaufman right now. And in Dallas, we have like 40 different clubs, and I'll start recommending them.
Nice.
I'm like, ooh, have you tried this one? Have you tried that one? Have you tried this one? This one's pretty like conservative, but this one's a lot of fun, and they do a lot of activism and donations, and then, so.
Yeah. It's been my experience of people when they say that they're really just not into politics, or they don't really pay attention to politics, then they probably are Trump voters.
Yes, that happens too. And so I do try to gauge it out with that one, but that's the big thing. They just don't want to admit that they voted for Trump.
Yeah. I'm like, I would be ashamed too. But you can tell me that you don't do politics, but politics is doing you, sweetie. So just saying.
I was like, you should feel that one, especially with the constitutional amendments that are on the ballots and everything. Like we get a direct say in a lot of our laws. And I don't think people realize that. So I do try to let them know, like, hey, if you get involved with this, you can actually make decisions that directly affect it, especially on the county party level too, because you get to help suggest what's going to be a proposition on the ballot, right? Like you get to help guide your party's decisions and legislation. And regardless of if you watch the news or whatever it is that you don't want to do, you can still go in and be like, hey, like I'm really struggling with this. Is there any way that we can get a ballot, amendment just by showing up to your county party?
Yeah.
So
did you notice how in Texas, I don't know if you guys have the same issues in your states as well, but during your primaries in Texas, the Texas Democratic ballot has a whole bunch of propositions on it, and the Republican ballot has a whole bunch of different propositions on it. They're not the same. They're not so on the Democratic ballot, there will be a question about school funding. And do you think that that your school funding should mirror the national average per student? And then on the Republican ballot, it will say about schools, do you think that in schools should be mandated to teach that life begins at conception?
Also, are we banning Sharia law?
Yeah, it's crazy. It is.
I think they have one about property tax. It's like phasing it out after 6 years of owning your property or something. And there was another one, and I was like, those aren't horrible
Those are
compared to the rest
horrible.
of them. But I mean, property taxes is what funds our school, builds our parks. So, like, we don't have a state
Exactly.
income tax.
There's
Like, we
no-
need to tax. Yeah.
Yeah, if you and that's I know that that's something that Roldermort is really running, that he's going really hard on because he thinks that that is going to get him reelected. But he did that last time too, and
Yeah.
he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything with it. And if you take out property taxes, and yes, our property taxes out here, by the way, we pay more in property taxes than they do in California. I'm just saying, I pay more for my property taxes here. It's insane. But that ends up being a tax on it ends up being a use tax because you have to raise sales
The
tax.
sales tax. And it's going to be on everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you think that as a renter that you're not paying for that property tax, you're wrong because it's
Wrong.
increasing that rent quickly. So if you live in any kind of residence, you're going to have to deal with the property tax increasing. But if they take that away, every single person in your family is going to be paying more in sales tax.
Definitely.
And that's going to be your kids that are working on stuff and trying to save up to get out of your house, which is not happening for anybody anymore. I'm the only reason that we were able to get on our feet is because my aunt had saved up money for me that she was going to give to me for college, but my parents were able to afford everything. So she helped me pay for a down payment on my house, my car, and for some of my wedding. From that, which is such a blessing and such a privilege that has been bestowed upon us. But it's going to get really bad. And taking away property taxes isn't the answer, but continuing to raise them is also not the answer. I mean, I feel like there should be a state tax at some point because
I just feel like that the most wealthy should pay more. I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like
absolutely.
if we actually taxed the rich at what they're supposed to be taxed at, we wouldn't be having this conversation right
No,
now.
we wouldn't. But also, if we had a higher minimum wage, not only would our Social Security like funds be insanely more like well balanced,
Yeah.
but that would be more money back into the economy, like directly, like increasing that. So not only making them pay more in their fair share of taxes, but making sure that they're not screwing over their workers and making sure that they're paying for the benefits and making sure that they're doing all of this other stuff. Because them not paying a living wage is affecting us in more than just not being able to afford our bills. It's affecting the overall like federal programs that we have as social safety nets. We can't put as much money into SNAP and Medicaid. We can't put as much money into healthcare. We can't put as much money into the Social Security aspects of it. Like none of that is coming out of our paychecks when they're not increasing. So, I mean, and I know that's a weird way to look at it, but for me, I'm just like, if we were all making the minimum wage that we were supposed to be making and everybody was making money for their fair share of work, then our Social Security wouldn't be struggling the way that it is, and our seniors would be a lot better off.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. So how do you encourage people to stay engaged without burning themselves out?
I don't know because I haven't figured it out.
That's fair.
I will encourage other people to take breaks, but for me, myself, I was like, I don't take breaks often.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Um,
Okay.
I do have a fun paranormal podcast that I listen to, and that helps me chill out. They also hate Trump, so that's fun. I do also encourage the I've Had It podcast, like the iHip News, because you can get caught up on news while they chew out the administration, and I feel like that is a nice little catharsis.
Yes, for sure.
To feel a little better with the horrific news. So,
Yeah.
but
There's so much. There's so much.
there's so much going on. It's just 24/7.
Yes, I'm so tired.
I
So
know.
So let's talk about the invitation. When one person gets involved, it ripples outward. What kind of ripple are you hoping that your campaign is going to create?
I don't know if it's my campaign as much as the coordinated campaign that I'm excited for. I don't know if you've heard anything about it, but Powered by People, Texas Majority PAC, and the Texas Democratic Party are going to be putting $30 million into a coordinated state campaign. They are going to be giving BAN, which is our how we get our data and everything and like track the Democrats. Like they're going to be giving BAN to free, to every candidate. They are going to pull the volunteers from the campaigns, and instead of working for an individual campaign, you'll be working for the Texas Democratic Party, and you'll be able to introduce an entire slate. So it'll like condense the work. And then they're going to be negotiating smaller prices for all of us, like just cheaper services, and they're going to help out with printed materials and all of that as well.
That's amazing.
Well, I was like, my campaign, they're going to have volunteer coordination. And so hopefully what we can do is the people that want to get involved in the community, we can get them directly to the Texas Democratic Party, and they're able to get involved fully with the Texas Democratic Party. And I'm trying to pull them into like the Young Dems, and I'm trying to pull them into just getting involved with the county parties. That way they can help with legislation. And I try to talk to them that way, but like that is the big thing that I will push is just involvement in local levels, but also statewide, because what's about to happen is insane. I don't know if you've gotten to listen to Kendall Scudder speak. He's incredible, but he took the Texas Democratic Party from a $500,000 deficit last January to over $2 million, where we're at a year later. And he's very progressive. He wears his Abolish ICE hat everywhere now, and I absolutely adore him. But that's what they're planning on doing for Texas for this election, and it starts on March 4th.
That is incredible. Love. I feel like I'm trying not to get giddy. Like I'm trying not to.
I've been giddy. You're fine.
I'm so hard, right? Like when I moved here, I was like, okay, this is cool because Texas is like super duper red right now, but maybe in like 10 years, I will get to live here when it turns blue.
And I think we will. I really do. I mean, so I'm seeing all these numbers coming in from the primary, and everybody is so engaged and activated. They're so excited. I've been going out knocking on doors. I'm like, well, early voting started. They're like, I already voted. Or like, I'll open the door, like, I voted for you, or I am voting for you, or whatever it is. Or, like we get a lot of happy and excited people when you knock on the door. And I knocked on doors yesterday in Gun Barrel City, and they're like, I've never seen a Democrat out here knock on the door in my life. So we're going to be able to have a lot more instances like that where we're going to be seeking people out and being like, hey, I'm pretty sure you're a Democrat because I've seen your consumer basis. You're going to come vote for me. And the general.
So funny.
It is.
But even like Republicans, when you show up in those rural areas, they're like, wow, that's really cool. They're
a lot of them just want populists. They want people that care about the people. That's all they want. And
it's Texas, they're neighborly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so getting out and being an open Democrat in rural Texas is very scary, but knowing that you are and being super kind and just kind of flying in the face of everything that they think that liberals are, even though I don't consider myself a liberal.
Oh, you're a lunatic. I mean, clearly you're crazy.
Yeah. I'm a democratic socialist. And
you said the S word.
I said the S word. But like being able to be so open about it and be like, guys, I just really care about the community. I want you to have health care. I want Medicare for all to take the burden off of small businesses and make sure that their employees are healthy. I want to make sure that you guys aren't paying way more in taxes than these big corporations. And I don't want them to put you out of business either. And they go, what? I go, hey, I think you should eat. I may not want to eat at your table at this point in time, but I want you to eat.
You should eat something. Yeah. You should have groceries.
But being an open Democrat, you're getting a lot of different reactions, and you're flying literally in the face of everything that the Republicans are saying that you are. Yeah. So it's been fun.
Yeah, that's my whole goal here is I may have pink hair and a septum ring, the audacity, but I'm also a super nice person, and I'm trying to raise all of these puppies and a stray dog and trying to help my community as much as I can. So
you're like, I'm gonna do all of the things.
I'm just doing all the things. So amazing. So for somebody watching tonight who is super angry and tired but still here, what's one real step that they can take right now to move from watching to participating?
Go to your local party county meeting. Do it. Get out there. You might be the youngest person in the room, but that's okay. You might be the oldest person in the room. That's also okay. But if you're afraid of the county party, go to the Young Dems meeting if you're under the age of 40 and be around people that are your age and get involved with them. But mutual aid, all of it, donate, do the things, just small steps. You don't have to do all of the things. You can pick one. But going to the county meeting, even if it's going to a dinner first or an event that they're hosting and a social aspect, so that way you're not sitting and getting bored and not knowing what to expect, you get to that too. These people are amazing. Yes. And I love it.
Yes.
I love it. But that is my big thing.
We are absolutely going to need poll watchers in the worst way in November. So if you want to get involved with your local Democratic Party, you definitely should do that. Your county chair can tell you how to get involved to be a poll watcher come November. So years from now, when people look back on this moment, what do you hope they will say about themselves for choosing to show up?
I hope they're just really proud of themselves for choosing to show up. Maybe not say anything specifically, just be able to look back and smile and be like, I did that. Like, I'm not going to be in the history books as the awful person. I'm not going to be the parents screaming at small children as they walk into schools. You know, like I would hide Anne Frank in my attic. Like that's the kind of thing that I want people to be able to look back and say, be like, I did the thing that I was so worried about in school, and being the bad person in the history books. I want them to realize that they're a good person, for choosing to fight back and stand up. Because while you may not have made a big difference in your direct life, it made a big difference in somebody else's, whether you know it or not.
What do you hope that people will say about you?
I don't really care what they say about me at all. I really don't. And I know that sounds so silly. I don't care. So my daughter has books, and they're literally Ordinary People Change the World is the series that they're called. And it's one person that took a step. And while I think very highly of the people in their books, I don't expect any of that from anybody at any point in time. I don't need validation to continue moving forward and doing what I feel is the right thing to do. And I just hope that I made a difference enough in their life that they can feel it. And whether they think about me or not is not the point.
Yeah. So what do you hope your kids will say about you?
I hope they know that I love them dearly. And I hope they know that, that's what they carry with them, is that I would literally go to the ends of the earth for them. Because this for me is for them. This is for them and for the kids of the world, and, you know, hoping to walk into a better future.
So we're saying in the chat that we need to multiply you. So I just did a Control-C, Control-V, and it didn't work. So I need to speak with a manager right now. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a transition while we get into our next phase here. Thank you so much for showing up and spending time with us. Before we turn things over to our village to ask you questions, for folks watching tonight who feel energized by this conversation and want to be a part of what you are building, can you tell them how they can get involved and stay connected?
Well, you can, again, go to your county party and get involved there, because you're going to find candidates that you really like, and you'll be able to work with them and volunteer with them if that's something that you want to do. You can reach out to a candidate that you really like and say, hey, I want to be on your team. What can I do to help you out? They're not going to know the answer to it because everybody is struggling at this current time. But at least if you can join some kind of conversation and volunteer help when you can see them struggling, that is one of the ultimate things that you can do if you want to help a candidate directly. If you're worried about what's happening in this world, find a group that coincides with something that you hold dear to your heart, whether it's immigration, like you're having a hard time watching what's happening with ICE, whether it's getting involved with the NAACP and their movements to help progress our communities that are marginalized, whether it's getting involved in food banks and being able to stock shelves for them and volunteering your time. Find something that you would enjoy being a part of and do it.
Interesting. I just got a news thing on my phone about Eileen Cannon, strangely enough. Cool. Amazing. Also, just so you guys know, you can go to chelseahawkettforcongress.com to participate in Chelsea's candidacy as well. You can donate your time, you can donate money, you can do phone banking, you can do all the things that you want to do to help this amazing person win her seat. So I know we're in the middle of early voting right now. We are like, please get out there and vote. What are you even doing? It is so important to get it done out of the way, and then you don't have to worry about it. And if you're not going to do it early voting, please make a plan to go on the 3rd and get it done.
If you're in Dallas County, know your precinct. Know exactly where your precinct voting is. Do not go anywhere in the county other than your precinct voting location, because you're not going to want to vote, or they're not going to let you vote anywhere else.
That is so weird that they have those so strange rules. It's voter suppression. Yeah. For entertainment purposes only. Okay, so the first question that I have comes from Love and Light and Big C, who asked it earlier. I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I'm really sorry for doing that.
That's okay.
James Tallarico or Jasmine Crockett?
Jasmine Crockett.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So she's my neighboring congressional district. She's pretty close to yours as well, but I have been in her district. I've seen everything that she does. She does fish fries. She teaches kids how to catch fish in the local pond. She holds kite flying contests. She pulls out vendors from local communities to be able to make money at these events. And she has worked hard to go to the big economic engines in Dallas and make sure that they're hiring directly from her community and setting up job fairs for them and bringing other people in. I have seen the work that she's done like firsthand. I don't agree with every decision that she's ever made, and I have a hard time with her foreign policy, but I do not think Tallarico would be any different in that direct aspect because I've seen how he operates in state legislature. So for me, they're the same person on that front. Everything else is a Crockett, 100%, and it has been the minute she jumped into the race. My heart was so happy.
I really like both of them. I really love both of them, but I personally feel like Jasmine Crockett has the energy that we need right now.
I mean, for like what we need, Tallarico folded for the first redistricting in 21. He was part of I can't remember if it was Senate Bill 12 or not Senate Bill 4. That was the redistricting. I don't think it was the voucher. I think it was the parents' rights one, but he was an author on that one. And he was the only Democratic author on one of those. And so yes, he did great this past legislative session, but he does have a history of kind of like folding and compromising, and I don't want to see that in a Senate.
We don't need compromise right now. We need bulldozers is what we need.
And
so
Jasmine is that, and she also calls out my congressman frequently because he's very nice to her in private, and then refuses to speak up when she directs any questions at him during sessions.
I love that.
I do too.
Amazing. So It Takes a Village has a question. Kim, the floor is yours.
This is coming from the village. We would like you to leave us a list of all your podcasts that you like to watch. If you could do that in our Discord, we would love that. We have a bunch of nerds here in the chat that need your list.
My number one is And That's Why We Drink, and then I can leave the rest later. And That's Why We Drink is my ultimate one, and I have traveled the country to go see them. It's paranormal and true crime, and I always go to haunted places. I go to New Orleans, I go to Salem, and when I go to see them, and I go to ghost stores.
Can you type that in the chat for us?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I am such a paranormal nerd. It's not even funny. We have a tarot ghost tours like downtown, like 5 minutes from my house. And I have adopted Lori, who is our tour guide. And I see her her grandson and my son go to the same preschool. And, I see her around town, and she does tarot readings at the local markets. And I'm like, I've just adopted her. But I am such a nerd when it comes to paranormal and true crime.
I love that. I love that. Amazing. Okay, guys, do you have any other?
Jess,
yes?
There's a couple of more questions from earlier. Would you like me to give those to you?
Sure.
Chad wanted to know what kind of work that you're going to do for the vets.
For the veterans, so a big issue that we have right now with the veterans is obviously they're lowering disability ratings slowly. So I want to be able to increase those back up so payments keep flowing. We also need to get back involved with the housing for veterans because they are slowly taking away those options. for veterans. And I know Texas itself had the historically underutilized business loans that they kind of cut the programming for, which I believe also affected veterans. But we need to be able to staff these locations quickly and be able to outsource until they can get the staffing in for the VA, because they have just completely ruined call times, wait times, nursing staff, administration, and it's horrific to see. So I would like to be able to fund the VA to the point where they can actually maintain a staff. When I was in Ohio, when I worked for Panera, Cavelli Enterprises at that point in time, but we did a lot of work with veterans for our like monthly stuff, and we would go do pass out food, and we talked to a lot of veterans that were experiencing a lot of stuff. But I also have neighbors that are vets experiencing it, and we also have quite a few veterans that are running for office as well this round too. So I get to listen to them a lot. But restoring VA funds is a number one priority, and being able to restore disability percentages so that way pay is increased again for vets.
Amazing.
Awesome. Scotty had a question too. What do you how do you think that we're going to be able to like churn like the old, he said old souls, so I'm guessing like the established Dems into more progressive thinking? So
In my experience, the moderates are actually the Gen X and like the elder millennials. Do you want me to put it on? Or you want to put it on? Do you want to wear it, or you want mommy to wear it? Mommy? No, you want it? Okay, sorry. We've got cat ears. So the Gen X and millennial tend to be very strict in their thinking and very corporate in their thinking, because they don't dig deeper into what's happening and why it's happening, and they don't get into the history of stuff. But with our older, like 60, not even 60, like, about 55 plus, they have experienced a lot of that in their lives, and they're already super progressive. So I think our establishment Dems are going to be the younger ones that have not experienced any big civil rights violations in their lives. So with that, it's just a whole lot of education, I think, behind policies and what's in place. And that is something that I try to do, is if I talk about a policy on my social media platforms, I try to give some of the history behind it and why it's such an important decision to make and push moving forward, which isn't going to reach, everybody that it needs to reach, but hopefully it changes slowly, one person at a time. I've done it with my mom. It's been a lot of work, but I have done it with my mom.
I'm going to have you call my mom. How about that?
Perfect.
Love it.
What?
Amazing. Were there any other questions, Cam?
I think Dark Glider had one, and they're saying, are you energized by the voter turnout in the primary?
Yes. So our voter turnout is insane right now on Texas 5. I did say it earlier. I was very open about it, but do you really need that right now? There's Spider-Man napkins. Do you want one? Yeah. Okay, hold on. I got to open the Spider-Man napkins. So our voter turnout in Dallas County has gone up about like 15% for the Democrats. I have no idea where to open this at. And in Kaufman County, we have swung 29 points left with this voter turnout. And our rural counties, we have two that are about the same. They haven't had much change. And we've had Henderson County actually increase about 8%. So we left 8%. So it's big. I mean, that's Gun Barrel City and Athens. That's kind of increased. Palestine hasn't done much movement. I think it is literally the same percentage. And we've lost about 0.4% in Van Zandt County. But everywhere else is moving so much to make up for it that the entire district has swung 21 points left, and it is so exciting to see. I've been analyzing the VAPs and all of the things for the Texas redistricting map for months. So seeing the movement on this after seeing what happened with Afton Bain in Tennessee, seeing what happened with Taylor Wimet, and just everything all over the country. Abigail Spanberger, watching everything shift so far left and feeling it in my very own district has been incredible.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm so excited.
Yes. And to live in this moment, like, you guys need to understand, Texas has not had a Democratic governor since like 91.
Yeah. And Richards.
And Richards. It's been a really long time. So maybe
Maybe.
Maybe reproductive rights is in our future. That would be
Maybe
a
it is.
thing.
Well, hopefully we can codify it federally so they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I have been told, so state rights, we all know they're racist and they're in the making and of the use of them, but there is a lot of talk now about Democrats using states' rights to codify a lot of stuff. So they've been joining together in kind of little bands across the country and pushing legislation with like 13 states at a time and just trying to get people to join on to help ratify the Constitution or like constitutional amendments that need to be pushed forward. So they're pushing. Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. It gives me hope as a Texan, as a new Texan. Somebody told me that one of my old friends was like, so you're okay moving from like your blue state into a red state and screwing up the culture of that red state? And I was like, Democrats have lived in Texas for longer than I've been alive. Okay, so
it's okay. So Texas has done a lot of really great things, including getting a man on a moon and establishing Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security, and all of the big social programs that we rely on have come out of Texas Democrats. Texas Democrats have done insane work in this country, and I think we can do that again.
Yeah, I think we can too. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great to watch.
I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
And I'm telling you right now, you know how I said we had a 21-point swing so far in the primaries? We need a 22-point swing to beat this district. So I was like, if we can keep it up and we can like increase it by the time November comes around, we're blue. So.
Oh my gosh. That is so motivating. That is so motivating. I love that. Okay, amazing. Did we have any other questions in the chat? Guys, now is your time to ask. Are you a Star Wars person or a Star Trek person? Is it like not really your gig?
So it would be Star Wars over Star Trek, but I'm a Doctor Who person.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
Who's
so I mean,
doctor?
I've actually David Tennant, but I've got a picture with David Tennant. I've got a picture with Matt Smith. I've got a picture with Peter Capaldi. I've got Jodie Benson. I've got like. I can't remember what her actual name is, but I've got Clara. I have Billy Piper. I have them all. I've got River Song. I'm a Doctor Who fan, but I took Latin in high school and I went through Latin 5 and I kept going, and so I studied epics. And so we had to watch Star Wars as one of our studies on how epics are created, because Star Wars is the ultimate epic.
It is the ultimate epic. Don't watch it in order. It'll be very confusing.
It's an Aeneid race is what it's called. Is where you start it in the middle of the story. And that is how the Aeneid starts as well. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, well, it doesn't sound like we have any other questions in the chat. Chelsea, thank you so much for being here. Before we go, I want to just pause and say thank you to everyone. Thank you, Chelsea, so much for showing up. Thank you so much to Kim for grounding us and giving us some direction, to our moderators, our creatives, and everyone behind the scenes who hold space for us with care, and to all of you for being here, for listening, and for staying in it. I'm being told to wait. Yes, Kim. What did I do?
We need to bring up V.
Yes, we do. We do need to bring up V. And okay. There's something else that I forgot to do. Okay. Tomorrow, State of the Union address is happening tomorrow, but who wants to listen to a bloviating Palpatine, orange tangerine Palpatine spew lies and garbage out of his big fat freaking diaper-filled mouth? Nobody. So the People's State of the Union address will be tomorrow at 8:00 p.m. Please tune into that. Go to moveon.org/live to participate in that. And I swear, if I see any of the representatives that I
Alexa,
in that same room, and they're all wearing pink freaking suits again, I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be so freaking mad. That was ridiculous.
Do you want a funny from that
Yes.
whole thing? So my representative is the one that snatched the sign out of Melanie Stansbury's hands, one of the pink suits. So we actually got a big piece of paper and we wrote, "This is not normal" on it, and we stuck it to the store because it's 3 minutes from my house.
I love Melanie. She's a hero.
Melanie is awesome. I love her. The pink suits piss me off, but I do love Melanie's.
I was pissed about the pink suits, and I will say for Melanie, she takes APAC money, and that's a big problem for me. So,
oh, I don't like that. Okay,
yeah,
I wasn't aware of her funds, but I know what New Mexico has done for moms, and that is always
yeah.
That's a happy one for me.
I think that there was a time not too long ago where people weren't watching that kind of thing, where they weren't looking at where you're getting your funds from, but they are now. So a lot of congressional people who have like the Cory Bookers and all of those
the Colin Allreds and the Julie Johnsons and the Lance Giddens and the everybody's. Yeah, I mean I watch the APAC stuff too. I just haven't seen it on Stansbury. I see it on a lot of other people though.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I want to bring up V real quick. Do you have time? Do you need to go?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. I want to bring up V real quick to talk about something super exciting. You guys have no idea what this woman has been doing for us. OMG. OMG. It's been insane. You beat me to it, friend. I was trying to get in there, but you were like, I'm faster than you. Hello, my friend.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just here. I had just finished dinner, so hopefully I don't have like like
spinach
anything in my teeth.
Amazing. So, Chelsea, this is my friend V. She's actually she was hoping that you were going to be in her district, but you're not, which is okay.
No.
I suppose. There's still redistricting that's probably going to be happening again. So maybe, there's hope. I don't know. Maybe one day. Or you could just move, there's that too. She's like, no.
I like her. My husband tries to get me to move too, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Good.
No. They know my name at my coffee shop. I'm not going anywhere.
It's very important. Yes, that chorizo wrap from Dutch Brothers.
It's my other coffee shop, but the chorizo wrap I go to Dutch Brothers just for that.
Yes. Okay, I need to try that. It needs to be in my wheelhouse. So my friend Fabulous Finds by V, also the curator and amazing person behind Not Your Merch. What news do you have to share with us today?
Yes.
I love that. So I've got 2 of those shirts, by the way. One's a long sleeve and one's a short sleeve on purple, and it looks so good on purple. I'm surprised you didn't get the purple.
I pretty much sleep in this shirt, honestly. Like I can't take it off. Like the hood, if I'm not wearing the hoodie, I'm wearing the shirt, and I'm about to make myself a tank top, and I'm just, no. This shirt, everywhere I go, literally, there's not a single time that I've worn this out in public and that I don't have somebody actually stop me, tell me something, thank you for wearing that, you're right, like all of the things. So, and one of the things that I was hearing Chelsea say is just that, people feel like they feel more comfortable automatically around you simply because you're wearing your bold tees that actually speak how you feel about what we're doing right now in this moment in time. And it's really important for us to be able to let other people know that they're not siloed, because when I started to do this back in February, and I started to try to talk about this, because I bought these. I was actually an affiliate on TikTok Shop, and I bought a shirt, and I'm like, I'm going to make a video and see how it goes. And it just blew up. And I thought, okay, people absolutely want to start wearing their bold political opinions on their chest. And people were not nearly as pissed off as they are right now.
Yeah.
Right now, compared to, February of last year. I mean, I was devastated in November, but they're not nearly as upset, pissed off, all of the things as they are right now. And so those types of things are what actually makes people want to actually step out of their comfort zone, want to be able to serve, because we want to be able to flip the script, because what we're living in right now is just so awful. And so we don't ever want to go through this again. And somebody had asked me, some smart aleck told me, well, you're going to lose your entire business when he continues to just stay in office and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Here's the thing about this. This is not a one-time thing. This is something that we're going to fight for the rest of our lives because we never want this shit to happen again.
Yeah.
So this is not going to be something that is just a one and done and we got him out of office and that's it. That's not what's going on here. And I honestly want everybody to understand that the reason that we got here is because we got so comfortable in where we were that we allowed this to continuously sneak, because this didn't happen overnight.
This
It didn't
has been
happen.
happening since this country was founded.
Right.
So I was like,
Right.
this is a centuries long issue.
They've been just doing this and doing this and doing this. So this is a lifelong battle of just making sure that we don't go through this again. So that's why my daughter and I decided that we were going to go ahead and do this, because I actually ended up talking to somebody else about this. And somebody else was actually selling the person that I bought the shirts from. She was actually selling them for the right and the left. And I'm like, when we do this, this is not a grift. This is not just so that I could sell shirts and so that I could make money off of selling shirts. This is actually a movement in the direction in which this country needs to go. And so that's when we started actually making our shirts. And as time has gone on, our shirts have become more and more bold and more in everybody's face, because I think that it's necessary. One of the things that I say all the time is that we need to have people like Jasmine Crockett, people that are truly pissed off, but a controlled rage is what's going to actually get us to the next state, the next phase in what it is that we're doing. So that's why we started our business. We started it back in March of last year with like 10 designs and 4 different color shirts. And now we have 500 different SKUs and all kinds of merch. And we just actually launched our website. Today was our launch day. And so, so we're very excited about it. It's been an explosion of like support. We built a community, and I think we did it the right way, because we started off with just a small little shop, and then we slowly built our community. We've been doing all of the things, and we have amazing people in our community that actually support us and support what it is that we're doing, and just continuously just keep coming in droves. And I think that that's a lot of what actually drives us, as far as like all of the women. Thank you, Marlena. So that's what we do. And we just continue to say it with our full freaking chest. We make everything: shirts, hats, cups, keychains, like all of the things, so that there is no part of me that you'll ever see that you're not going to be sure to know that we are like that.
Did you make the Chinga Tumaga shirts or Chinga
Yeah.
Tumaga? Yeah, I have that. I was like,
You
I
do?
feel like I remember. I was like, I bought it back in March.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
actually our number one, and that's actually what made our shop go viral, is that video for me went viral. And I think I've sold it well over, I want to say like 1,500 times in our shop.
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
actually the one that my congressman blasted. I was wearing that shirt when he blasted me all over the internet. I even
Oh,
got
well,
one on the Donald Trump for president, like Facebook page, wearing the Chinga Tumaga shirt.
You know what's
Yeah,
so
but I was
funny
wearing
is
it.
that MAGA thinks that whenever they see that, all they see is MAGA.
Yeah.
And they think that it's actually in support of them, because they don't take the time to realize that it's literally F your MAGA. Because they don't get that. Like, they don't ever get outside of their one little thought that they've got going around. So yeah. That was your first purchase, Marlena. That's so funny. So that's what we do. And we just launched our site today. And if you guys want to get any kind of bold political merchandise, you need to go to notyourmerch/ITAV, because actually Jess, or It Takes a Village, is actually an affiliate on our site. And any of the proceeds that her link will actually get allows her to go ahead and continue to support It Takes a Village, and actually gives back to grassroots candidates. So that's like one of the main reasons that we wanted to also do this, is because we're working with affiliates that are able to do that kind of stuff. So Jess's entire thing is trying to go ahead and help grassroots candidates, and she actually uses it not so that she can pay her light bill. She's trying to actually help grassroots candidates. That's like her whole purpose. So
That's the
if
goal.
you guys want to get anything, please go to notyourmerch/ITAV, so that Jess can go ahead and continue to grow her village.
Awesome. Sorry,
love that.
I just realized I was at 3%. I looked down and I was like, oh.
Oh no. Yes, and thank you so much, Vee, for all the work that you put into it. Your website looks beautiful.
It does, and it was a
looks
village that actually
so-
built it. So
Yes, and it looks so good. We have a new thing that we just put on there last night. Kim, I don't know if you can
Oh,
show
yeah.
it. But
I
it's
don't have it.
I have a picture. She's gonna
Okay,
switch it.
do that.
Yeah. Look, guys. Look
There
at
you
the
go.
Look at that t-shirt. Look at that. Look at that t-shirt. It's amazing. Yes,
Oh,
you
I
need
love
one of
that.
those. You absolutely need one of those. It comes in a sweater. It comes in a cup. You can get a car decal. My favorite's the hoodie. The hoodie's
I
super
know.
soft. I wear it to
The hoodie's
Walmart
fantastic.
and I get dirty looks. But there's from time to time there's people who are like, I freaking love that. Like when I go out to eat and I wear that particular hoodie, the servers are always like, they always give me extra stuff because they're like, we just love your sweater. Like, it's amazing. So
I used to serve and bartend, and the people that they hate are the people they're mad at. But it was always the church crowd, and it's the same people every single time, and you know who they are. So having people that you know that they're not, it's so nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. So yeah, you can pick up your It Takes a Village merch at notyourmerch.com/ITAV and
Yes.
you know, help spread the word about our little shindig here. So
Amazing.
thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and right
Vee.
now during launch, I actually asked Jennifer to check and see like how many flasks. Like for anybody that places an order for $59 or more, automatically gets a free bonus gift, which is like a flask, and you're gonna get like they're really cute little flasks, and some of them say like there's not enough tequila for this shit, there's not enough rum for this shit, there's not enough brandy for this shit, like all the things. And there's free shipping at $49, so it's just a really cool little extra gift that we're giving away to everybody that for the first 50 orders over $59. So if anybody wants to go and grab that, we still have a couple of them left.
And if you use the code WELCOME10,
That's right.
you get 10% off.
That's correct.
So
You get all kinds of freebies, free flask, free shipping, and welcome 10 for 10% off for
It's
the
amazing.
launch. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So
So yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Vee. I really appreciate you as always.
no problem. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm gonna drop you down now, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thanks so much, my dear. So that is our little commercial. So just do a quick look ahead. I don't know if you know who Bernard Taylor is, but he will be on our show on Friday, and I'm so excited to have him back. He's been on our show before. Also, Avery Rowland is going to be on March 2nd. She's been on our show as well, and she's fantastic. She's running for a House seat in Kansas, and she's trans. And that's huge in Kansas.
That's huge in Kansas.
It's huge in Kansas. So, yes, please join us for those. They're going to need all of our support. And I'm so excited to be able to talk to them. Chelsea, I would love to invite you back. I would love to have you back after the primary to talk about what went right, what went wrong, what's next for you. But we manifest this shit around here, and you are going to win your seat.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I've got a lot of support. I've got great endorsements. I've got the things. We just need to make it to the primary.
Yes. So next episode, we're sitting down with Bernard Taylor to talk about, all the amazing things that are happening in Florida to help flip the script down there and dig even deeper into how change actually happens. And if you're looking for a way to carry this conversation with you, again, we do have Village merch, pieces that let you speak your truth without saying a word. And most of all, remember this: voting matters, showing up matters, but our civic duty does not start and stop at the ballot box. Not in this moment. Change lives in the in-between, guys, and conversations and pressure and how we show up for each other. Also, we did get over 100,000K, so I'll be making a donation to your campaign. Thank you so much for all of the tapping.
Thank
you guys
you.
are absolutely incredible. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do something, and you don't have to do it alone. This is It Takes a Village, guys. Okay, we're not in this. We're not in this alone. So take care of each other. Okay, take care of yourselves. And Chelsea, thank you so much for showing up tonight.
Thank you for having me. I just had a book launched at my face.
Fabulous. All right, amazing. Well, thank you so much, everybody, and I hope you have a great night tonight. Have a good one. Thanks,
You too.
everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
It takes a village.